There are no questions. Thank you for your presentation. You're on.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members. My name is Rod Welsh, Executive Director of the State Preservation Board, and appreciate the opportunity to present the agency's LAR today. The agency was provided a GR baseline limit of $30.2 million for FY 26-27. The LAR submitted includes all program area operating expenses within the base limit. Also included in the submitted LAR is one exceptional item totaling $1.24 million for increase in costs for IT support, which are provided via interagency contract with the Texas Legislative Council. These costs include increases in staff support, infrastructure, software, and an additional one-time cost. Costs for these services in FY 24-25 biennium were $633,000. The agency appreciates the inclusion of this item in the introduced bill. The agency also appreciates the inclusion of $3.5 million in the museum strategy for the purpose of renovating the museum's ranching exhibit, which has not had any extensive updates since the opening of the museum 24 years ago. Working with the Museum Foundation, funding for this exhibit will help the museum re-emphasize the critical role ranching played in the history of the state by tripling the footprint of the third floor gallery. The completed exhibit will include first-person modern-day interviews, large-scale media, and hands-on activities, all of which will serve to illustrate ranching's historical roots through the centuries and the transformation of the industry through the innovations of science and technology. With 1/3 of the museum's exhibition visitors comprised of field trip students, this new experience will resonate with today's kids and fulfill TEAC requirements. Last session, the agency was tasked with managing 3 more office buildings in addition to the Capitol Mall and given funding for that purpose. The agency was also the very appreciative beneficiary of an endowment created by the legislature for the purpose of funding future capital improvement projects for the property under the agency's care. Therefore, the agency has no other funding request at this time. This overview highlights the agency's LAR, and happy to answer questions.
For me, just one question.
Yes.
When will the
I know what's coming.
Capitol roof replacement be finished?
We're on schedule. We should be substantially complete by May, June. So in a few short months, we're primarily working on the end caps at the far east and west wings and on the north side above the reference library.
Most of the time when I drive up to the Capitol, I see very few workers out there.
They should be working on.
Okay. Stay on it. That's all the questions we have. Thank you, Director Welsh. Oh, Senator Kokos.
You can't get away that quickly. Yeah, we need the scaffolding down. It seems like it's multiplying.
It's largely coming down on the south face, but until we get the north side complete, it's going to be on the north side and the wings at the very ends.
So I would also say we're very proud of this building because it's the people's building, and I would encourage you to look at the little things like the sign falling down out here and make sure that those kind of things are taken care of. Those are things that just make me go crazy. It's whompy-jawed and about to fall off. So the little things, the details do matter.
Absolutely.
I wanted to talk about the big trust or the fund that we put, I think, $200 million in it.
300 in total. It is 200 million. There's it's basically a third for museum-related improvements, and then the rest for the other properties that we manage. So
and so when we say that, so a third of it, $100 million, and it's going to act as an endowment, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And so the Texas State History Museum, we call it the Bob Bullock Museum. Not just maintenance, but you have to renovate museums and do new things. That's all a part of the plan, right?
Yes, it's specifically for facility-related improvements.
Good, because it was often that you would come here and ask for, and say, "Gosh, we really need to do this," whether it's HVAC or whether it was climate control or something like that. The LaBelle, when we were trying to do that, we still do receive a great deal of donations in that for that museum as well.
Correct. Our museum foundation we work with absolutely helps us with a lot of exhibits that we do.
Okay, good, excellent. On the other issues of the 200 million and the endowment, Secretary Nelson was here talking about the General Rudder building and things. Is that endowment also going to help those kinds of issues, or does that need to have that separate appropriation?
The endowment will be able to help with the properties that our agency manages. We can do facilities, capital improvement projects, and facility improvement projects on all of those properties under our care.
And so when we look at projects like that, the thought is as that endowment grows and you can expend those funds, we talk about one-time funding here on the excess dollars, surplus dollars that carry over from last session. Comptroller Hager was very clear about that. These are a lot that we didn't expend last session. Will that take, hopefully, less pressure off of you coming before us and saying, this building, this HVAC, this?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
Great.
Yeah.
And I just want us to all be cognizant of what they oversee, which is mainly the Capitol grounds. Am I right on that?
Well, the Capitol Extension grounds, mansion, Capitol Visitor Center, cemetery, museum, now legislative office buildings in the Capitol Mall and the visitor parking garage and some other things.
Yeah. So you're going to be getting the mall that is built out north of here.
Correct. Just the maintaining like we do the grounds here and programming at some point.
So, y'all, through the Preservation Board, any new monument that's put on the grounds has to go through that whole process?
That's correct, through our board.
Those funds can be used for that as well, or not? I don't remember in the legislation. I can look in the enabling legislation.
I don't think so.
But I look at it as a legacy fund. It's an investment so that we can endow basically future upkeep of the people's land here.
Yes.
This Capitol stands as, I think it's taller than the U.S. Capitol, and that it is as grand and as big as Texas. And so whether it's the scaffolding that we see everywhere right now, you promise me it'll be gone by June. Sine die. How about we shoot for sine die?
Yeah, well, it was always...
Or one of the special sessions that we are doomed to be in.
We're on schedule. It's a 3-year project. My hope would have been that it would have been quicker, but I mean, we had to reframe the end caps on both ends of the Capitol where the wood is just deteriorated, and that slowed down the process among other things. But we're still on course and hope to have it all wrapped up pretty well by June, but by September at the latest. So.
Thank you, Rod.
Yep.
There are no more questions. Thank you. Next, we have the Public Finance Authority and General Obligation Bond to Debt Service. LBB presentation on budget, KJ Curtis, and we have the agency presentation on budget, Billy M. Atkinson, Chair,